Discs with the game Star Wars Jedi Survivor will not contain the full version of the game. Progress does not stand still. This also applies to games that are increasingly released digitally, bypassing physical media. 2020 has become a landmark year in this regard. Then digital downloads for the first time exceeded sales of games on physical media. The strengthening of this trend has steadily increased over the past decade, making the victory of the numbers inevitable. It is worth noting, however, that both forms of distribution have their advantages and disadvantages. The highly anticipated Star Wars Jedi Survivor game is coming out in just a few days, so retailers are starting to get discs of the game. Images of the physical version that surfaced over the weekend show that EA didn't include the entire game on disc. On the Jedi Survivor box, it says in small print, "Download required." In other words, this physical copy probably only contains the installer that downloads the digital version from the internet. Given that Survivor weighs in at a whopping 155 gigabytes, which can't fit on a single drive, it's no surprise that EA decided to make such a move. To put all this data on physical media, you will need 6 double-layer DVDs or 4 Blu-ray discs. Thus, allocating 155 gigabytes on physical media will cost EA much more than just selling the game. From a purely practical point of view, why offer a defective physical disc when it's easier for players to download the digital version? Of course, there is a contingent of collectors of physical media, but there are those who have problems with high-quality internet access. EA is likely to see a lot of outrage from people who bought or pre-ordered a physical copy, thinking it contained the entire game. This practice is becoming more common as the size of games grows. Previously, buying a video game meant getting a complete product that was error-free. Thanks to the internet, today's developers don't even need to release a fully finished game, as they can fix it by downloading it from the internet. It's very similar to the fact that development today boils down to just releasing a product, even if it's unfinished, and fixing it later, like some Cyberpunk 2077. Even if a game developer manages to release a complete and stable game, most projects still get extensions, cosmetic items, and even new characters after launch. However, many publishers continue to sell physical copies, and one of the main advantages of having a game disc is that no one can deprive the user of their copy. In digital releases, the consumer basically only owns the name of the game and can lose it for completely different reasons. For example, if Steam disappears tomorrow for any reason, most people will lose all their games, since very few people keep digital backups of every game they buy. Although this will also apply to any physical media that relies on digital identity to work.